Phantomaniacs, welcome to the newest unboxing here on the Needless Things YouTube channel, brought to you by Audible Interlude, a G.I. Joe podcast, available every Friday wherever you get your podcasts. This is the Amazon exclusive G.I. Joe classified series, Kamakura. I am very excited about this one because I was actively collecting and following G.I. Joe in 2003 when this character was introduced, and I specifically remember him as being a very big deal because Devil's Due, the publisher that was producing these comic books, he appeared in the comics and then appeared in the toy line. And at the time, it wasn't a sure thing that a toy line was really going to care what a comic book was doing. Now, granted, G.I. Joe didn't have a ton of media support other than that back then, and we got a couple of animated films or CGI films, which we will be have reviewed one of those, and we'll be reviewing the other one on Audible Interlude. But anyway, Kamakura is pretty awesome. I'm a fan of the character, and the fact that they're bringing somebody that I think of as a landmark character that bridged the gap between Larry Hama's comic books and the 2003 toy line and comic book was just very exciting at the time. It was really wild to see something, that kind of synergy, because it wasn't as common then as it is now. And the fact that the classified team saw fit to recognize this character and to bring him into the classified line at this stage. He's number 61, so we're, however far I think we've got a pretty big gap there in the 50s of figures that haven't come out yet. But I don't know, this is exciting to me, and I know a lot of people aren't familiar with him, and, we didn't all stay Joe fans all the time, and that's okay, because we're all fans now, and we're all contributing to the success of the classified series. This is the plastic-free packaging. I find it bizarre that there's a big hang tab on this, and it's an Amazon exclusive. Oh, and this did come in a brown mailer box from Hasbro, and then that was inside a shipping box from Amazon. So Amazon is being careful, or at least they were careful with mine. But this is the new style with the artwork on the front, and then on the back you have the figure and all of the things that are included in the packaging. I really, really, really like this artwork. I think it's awesome and expressive and dynamic. I don't love it for Kamakura. I don't love it for G.I. Joe. If it was a Tank Girl product or something like that, I think it would be very appropriate. It's not my favorite of the... I love the art, but it's a little... I don't know. It doesn't, in this context, it doesn't work. But this artist is fantastic. I love this kind of stuff. Like I said, for Ninja Turtles or Tank Girl or... anything a little more offbeat like that, this would be fantastic. Aeon Flux, I don't know, whatever, just throwing stuff out there now. And it's also pretty cool how they've done the gloss on this. I'm going to cover my ring light up so you can actually see the way that all the characters are in a gloss to bring them out from the background, which is more of a flat print. I like this packaging, and yeah, I would be a little uncomfortable walking into Target and buying one like this because, Target can't stop people from swapping figures when you can see the figures. So this is a whole other proposition. I love this, just standing over his fallen foes. I'm excited for this figure. So let's open it up and take a look. The reason I'm excited that the classified team, I like this, how we've got the locker with the accessories packed in beside the figure itself. The reason I'm so excited that this is Kamakura is I want the classified series to be broad and to encompass all eras of G.I. Joe. I don't want it to just be 82 to 87. And granted, as far as I'm concerned, they need to make everybody that was in the line 82 to 87. But I want more. Because a toy line for me is more than just being G.I. Joe. I want an awesome toy line. Man, this figure looks cool. Okay. We are going to snip right through these paper rope tie things because it's still easier to do that than to untie them. Oh, and this is also, and I'll at some point I will probably stop pointing this out. But for the time being, I think it's important to still express this. I absolutely hated the plastic tray. Since forever, I have hated the plastic trays that action figures used to come packaged in. This is so much better because this guy tied into here, nothing is going to warp. Nothing is going to be in some weird pose where the legs are going to end up bowed out or pushed inwards. It's just in there, how it is. It's such an improvement, in my opinion. All right, Kamakura. So he's got the same. This is the same little piece as the new Storm Shadow figure, which is fairly versatile. This is interesting. So on Storm Shadow, this is this way, right? On my Storm Shadow, have this turned around here because I wanted the belt to hang down on the front side. But here they've painted that to look kind of like the bottom of the gi, which is weird because that doesn't even make sense. Whereas actually, okay, you can actually see in the sculpt here where it's supposed to be. That should be, oh, maybe that's how it is on Storm Shadow. Because you can see the fold right there, or where the two pieces of fabric are overlapping. So this is folded over here. So that's actually how that should be. But that sculpt is, obviously you can put this wherever you want it to go. I will probably leave it right here on my guy. Even though, like I said, it does not actually make sense that this is the bottom of this design. Anyway, to continue on, he's got a great ninja look. He does not have a ton of like chest armor or exaggerated business. He just looks like a pretty basic ninja. Yes, he's got the knee armor, the shin guards, and then the forearm plate armor over there, and they all match. They all have a great sculpt. Everything looks very cool. And this is Kamakura's design. This is the original design of the character. This reflects that fairly well. The colors, this neon right here, it's not quite a neon, it's more of a lime green, but this is a very interesting decision because they could have easily gone with like a black or a gray or something, but they chose to use this brighter color on him to give him a really more distinctive look on the shelf. And I like it. I think it looks great. Articulation-wise, he's the same as all of the other Classified Series figures. He's got the great butterfly joints at the shoulders. Oh, he's got his Arashikage tattoo on his forearm. Whoop, sorry. Got out of focus there. There we go. On his forearm, and then, which is the reason why we've only got the armor on the one forearm, because of course we want that nice exposed tattoo. I cannot wait to get a version 2 Storm Shadow with that tattoo going on. He's got the fingerless gloves, double jointed elbows, of course. I don't know why I mentioned the gloves and while I'm going over the articulation, but whatever. Drop down hips. It's all the same Joe classified articulation that you've seen me talk about with the other 50 whatever figures I've reviewed here on the channel. You can go back and check all of them out if you're so inclined. Like them, subscribe, share, do the thing. His mask. Oh, that's going to be a little disappointing. We'll find out in a minute, but it looks like he's just got a barbell peg in there. He does not have the hinge. Well, I can show you right now. So there's Kamakura, and here is our 00 Snake Eyes. You can see proportionally they work really well together. Kamakura is just a little bit taller than Snake Eyes, but Snake Eyes has that hinge with the ball where the head attaches. So it gives a much better range of movement then, well, we'll go ahead and do it now. Then that's some, okay, so at the base of his neck, he does, I mean, it doesn't do anything really, but the neck is a separate piece. That's honestly pretty disappointing, because one of the things I loved about Classified series was that hinge at the neck, and now he can't quite, and it's a little loose too. So I'm not gonna lie, that's disappointing to me, to lose that point of that very important piece of articulation. All right, so figure looks great. I'm very happy with it. I think they did a nice job with the ninja look. He's different, but he is, a character that I am a big fan of. So let's take a look at the accessories, which supposedly justify the higher price point for this guy. Interestingly, he was $32.99, and I paid only $2 more for the Snake Eyes and Timber pack that I reviewed just this past Tuesday. So I don't know why this guy's... Well, I do. I know his price point is so high because they feel like he came with a lot of accessories. Oh, I didn't point out his locker. He has a personalized storage locker. It's just cardboard, but it's cool. I like it. It's got the corresponding number on it. It's a cool look, and it, to me, adds a little bit extra to the unboxing and to the reveals of the figure. So I like this. I think it's great, and the accessories are safely secured. So rather than being in that plastic tray that, as I said, I hate so much, they're actually affixed to this cardboard to keep them straight. This is wonderful, you guys. You can keep windows all day long. I don't care. Get rid of windows all day long. Give me straight accessories and figures that are not warped. That is a way higher priority to me than being able to see the figure. Okay, so let's see what we've got here. We've got two great pieces of cardboard to keep those nice and straight. And then we've got our bag that is pressure sealed at the top, so you actually do have to tear that open. I keep saying pressure sealed. I don't know if that's accurate at all. This is like almost like wax paper, so it may be heat sealed. I'm not sure. And I don't really care that much. So we've got the hood. I believe... No, it is. It's the same hood that has come with Storm Shadow. I think maybe the same as the Red Ninja. It doesn't matter. I don't plan to use it. We have an unmasked Sean Collins head, or Sean Broca, or Broca. I say Broca because I like the way Word Burglar rhymes it with Head Rocka. But as up until hearing Word Burglar's album, Welcome to Cobra Island, which if you have not heard it, you should hear it. Up until hearing Welcome to Cobra Island, I had always said Fred Broca. But Broca, either way, whatever. But yeah, Sean Collins' portrait looks great. And I don't know which head I'm going to put on this guy because they're both really cool. He has his belt piece, which I found out with the... Oh, I did eventually. If you've been following along, you know my Storm Shadow did not include the belt piece. I got another one, took the belt piece out, and returned it. So I now have a belt on my Storm Shadow. And if you remember, I was not able to get it onto... Well, no, you wouldn't know that because I didn't do it on video because it was a whole other thing. All right, I wasn't able to get that belt piece onto my Storm Shadow figure when I got it because this peg is very soft plastic and it just didn't want to go into... Oh, this one worked fine. And there you go. So this kind of, like, it's a cool look, but this kind of doesn't make sense. I guess maybe this is supposed to be tying off, like, the ties on the gi and not actually the belt, which sort of makes sense, kind of. But I'll probably leave that over there because it does, like I said, it creates a nice line going down the figure. It looks good. All right. And we've got the scabbard, which I think is pretty weak and is from... This isn't from the Red Ninjas. This is from the movie Storm Shadow, I think. I am not a fan of any scabbard that leaves the sword blades exposed. I think that's just lame. I don't like it. And then we've got the little collar piece that suggests the hood being down, I guess, although there's not quite as much fabric there as there is in an actual hood. And then a pistol. Nice looking little pistol. He does not have a holster for it, so there's nowhere to store that. And then he also has a knife that he also has no way to store. I'm not super impressed with this loadout so far. Let's go ahead. I'm not going to put the hood on him. I'm also not going to put the hood collar on him. I will put the lame scabbard on him. Yeah, it goes... Oh, I guess it doesn't matter which way it goes, does it? I think it's pretty much the same either way. So whatever. Scabbard's on him. Let's get his swords out of here. Maybe. There we go. Oh, okay. Nice. He does come with the Uzi. Oh, I like... Okay, I just saw something I really like. All right, so we're done. Ugh. All right. Same Uzi that came with... Well, let's verify that. Yes. Same Uzi that came with 00 Snake Eyes and with the Snake Eyes and Timber Snake Eyes. I'm going to set that to the side. I do like it, though. And I like the little green highlight on one of the swords. And these swords are different. So that's actually a nice touch. I appreciate that. I'm going to guess one of them is... Well, they're probably both just repainted Storm Shadow swords from the movie Storm Shadow. That's my guess. I'm not going to bother verifying because honestly, I mean, does it matter? Not to me, but they are going to want them to fit in here with no problems. So, and they sure do. See, look at that. Why you just exposed blades just hanging out? So, yawn, you get a little tired, put your arm down too fast, and cut your arm off. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this at all. Give us better scabbards, Hasbro. We deserve better for a $32 figure. And then we have got over here a couple of bow staffs. I don't know why we have two. Oh, one's a Naginata and one's a bow staff. Oh, wait, what have we got going on here? Hang on. Let me get into this. Oh, this, interesting. Ugh, tape. Yes, I prefer these cardboard pieces to the plastic, but I hate tape. It's so sticky. But you can see there are actually slots in the cardboard. I mean, they're really concerned about keeping these things from getting warped, and I appreciate the heck out of that. Okay, so we have a dual-bladed staff, and then the separate halves of the staff. Interesting that they went that route rather than just making it so it, you could put it together. But, whatever, it's cool. Is it something I need? Not really. Is it something that can be stored on the figure? Nope. So, I'm going to be honest and say, here is what I think this figure needed to come with. The figure, 2 swords. Needed is a strong word for the Uzi, but it is definitely part of the character that he uses firearms as well. So I'll say the Uzi just because it does tie him to Snake Eyes a little bit, and it's a nice touch. And the alternate portrait. So, and this is garbage, but I mean, he has to come with somewhere to store those swords. So while I would rather have actual scabbards, that's okay. Honestly, I would have preferred it if they had just done a repaint on Storm Shadow's backpack. Although he doesn't come with a bow and arrow. I don't know. So this is all this character was necessary to come with, and I do not consider this belt piece an accessory. I know Hasbro does, and it's nonsense. This is our $24.99 loadout, to be honest. So $24.99 for that, and then for $8 more, we get a bunch of extraneous pieces that are going to go in a bag in my drawer because they cannot be stored on the figure. So in Hasbro Think, this is $8, or I guess not 8, because was he $32.99 or $31.99? I think it was $32.99. So $8. This is $8 worth of stuff, in Hasbro's opinion. I'm not even going to argue that because I just don't think the figure needed the stuff. So I would have been much happier with just this. Gosh, I really don't know. And I didn't take too good a look at his masked face, and I apologize, you guys. Looks fantastic. He's got a great looking mask. Those eyes are intense. And if you notice, they match up to the unmasked portrait very nicely. I don't know if I want the Ginger Ninja or the Masked Avenger. I'm just not sure. But anyway, I like this figure. It would have been fine as a regular release with this stuff. But as is, it's an overpriced thing with some unnecessary junk that I'm going to put in my drawer. So there you go. Kamakura. I would hope starting a new trend of giving us characters from outside of the traditional Real American Hero spectrum. I'm happy to have him. He could have been really the only thing that I would straight up just change, aside from making him a regular release that wasn't overpriced, is this. This is just awful. Other than that, I dig it. Thanks for watching, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share, and as always, yo, Joe!
Smash that like button if you like Needless Things.